This is Hannibal here from thehannibaltv.com with a daily wrestling news update for you. The sad news that occurred over WrestleMania weekend was WWE Hall of Famer Bushwacker Butch passed away. The cause of death has been released according to Dave Meltzer. He died of high blood pressure. I guess the problem was he forgot to pack his pills. And when he initially went into the hospital, they actually thought he was going to make a full recovery. But I guess it had been 4 days since he had taken his pills. And of course, he lives in New Zealand. And it was just too late going in the hospital. And he went downhill very fast and passed away. So sadly, coming to WrestleCon ultimately ended up costing him his life. So sorry about that. Sorry for your loss, Bushwacker. Luke, who actually gave me my name Hannibal when he brought me over to wrestle in Puerto Rico, and is a nice guy. I never met Butch other than seeing him wrestle many times. But they were always my favorite, and I'll tell you a funny story. I saw them at Hull, Quebec in 1993, and my little brother, who's 3 years younger than me, wasn't really a wrestling fan. But for some reason, he came to that show. And of course, I always tried to get the best seats. I think they were even under $20 for ringside at the front at that time. And he was standing around the barricades with me, and he got licked. And it was very traumatizing to him. He actually ended up crying. And he only went to one more wrestling event. And that was because it was the WCW in Montreal that my parents drove me to. That they had nosebleeds for. I had the front row, which were $100 back then, which I really had to save up for. And that was unheard of in those days for a house show. But anyways, it really traumatized him getting licked by the Bushwhackers. Summerslam tickets sold over 30,000 in the first day. So that includes, of course, the pre-sale. But that was the highest first day ticket sales for SummerSlam since, of course, the Wembley Stadium SummerSlam in '92. One of the best SummerSlams ever. That sold whatever the legitimate number was, 70,000 or so. They said it was 80-something thousand, but the building couldn't hold 80,000. But basically, SummerSlam '92 got way more in the first day, but this was an American record. The cheapest tickets still available now, according to Meltzer, are in the $250 range. Drew McIntyre is out with an undisclosed health issue and is apparently going to be out for a few more weeks. John Hennigan, as we mentioned, was victorious by KO in a fight against a YouTuber over the weekend, and he called out KSI after the fight. He was very impressive in that fight, although I know many people pointed out that he just basically went on attack mode and had his chin open. And he was fighting a YouTuber. Maybe if it was against a more seasoned boxer, he'd have more problem, but it was a very impressive display. Congratulations again. But according to reports, Matt Cardona was initially offered that fight against Hennigan, but turned it down. Of course, we all know Cardona isn't a real fighter. I'd be happy to fight him anytime. That'd be a really good celebrity boxing match, or a YouTuber boxing match, actually, would be a better description of that. Apparently, Saudi Arabia, King and Queen of the Ring, is now going to be known as Night of Champions. And there's all this talk with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn that don't go to Saudi Arabia because Sami Zayn would apparently be killed and Kevin Owens is friend with Sami Zayn. Will they lose the tag titles before that, since it's a Night of Champions show? Who knows? Nick Aldis apparently couldn't get a job with WWE or AEW, so he re-signed with Impact, where his wife is working. Mickie James recently relinquished both the Impact Women's title and the Impact Main title were relinquished rather than lost, which I think, I mean, that company is already fairly valueless, but to allow the champions to like vacate the titles, I don't know, it makes the titles mean even in like less. The male champion just had a tricep tear, and I don't know what's wrong with Mickey James, but it seems like jumping the gun a bit, vacating titles. Alberto Del Rio apparently got a good reaction wrestling in Mexico on the weekend, but apparently he looked much older. He's aged a lot. Someone says he got to see the Bushwhackers wrestle in Philadelphia. I saw them wrestle many times, and I rode with Luke. So yeah, it's sad. Mike Piper's been shaven. She looks like a brand new dog. She got her spring haircut. Uncle Dave 74, hello back to you. Wish everyone a great afternoon. We had a very nice weekend out. It's rainy and much colder out today, but I'm still going to get out there and pump some iron. Have a great afternoon.
Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and click the subscribe button to not miss any of our latest shoot